I've been thinking about this same question for quite a while now, and it's, can a painting represent something that can't actually be seen? This painting is part of a series of abstract works that I do where I'm trying to depict sound and trying to listen to the painting and let it tell me what it's saying and what it sounds like. I've been painting like this for quite some time now, and some of these paintings are very large, like this one, as well as this painting. Both paintings are over 3 feet or so on at least one side. And then I've been doing some small paintings like this one and like these. But all of these paintings are the same concept of I'm trying to make something that isn't visible into the visible. And in this case, sound. I listen what the colors are saying and try and hear it. Like with this painting, it had kind of a loud crash that then kind of drifts off into this quiet area. So welcome to my studio here. Here's my paints, and I've got a painting I just finished waiting to dry. And here's the painting that I just started today. I've put in a little over an hour's work on it. And at this point, I have an idea of what I want. Like, I'm trying to make something that sounds kind of soft and quieter. To me, the color blue, like this more aquish blue color, has a quieter feel. And at this point, I'm just trying to make the figure out the movement in it. So I had an idea that I want it to come out like this and kind of drift away down here. And I'm thinking like this piece will be more about like the sound of rain or softer rain music. To me, again, this color blue is usually more of a quieter color, whereas something like down here, like the red and the yellow, are more intense, louder colors, if that makes sense at all. But this piece is just beginning, but I wanted to show you how I kind of begin these paintings. I don't really know where it's going to completely go yet, but I have an idea of what I want out of it. But it takes, a good amount of time to paint each one of these squares. And like I said, this is a little bit more than an hour of work. So here is the painting after about 10 hours of work, somewhere around there. And it's moving into this green area. I feel like it needs to go into this green area to start getting a little quieter. What I want to happen is to have it kind of around here, to have it kind of go from a little loud to quiet and kind of pulse almost like this. And like this area will go to almost a white down here, like this mint green white color will happen kind of around the next couple layers. And then it's going to shift into a blue hue. And then from there, it'll go back to like a darker blue, like around this area. And then it'll go back to green and then back to white. And like I said, it'll be kind of almost like it's pulsing a little bit. Um, but to me, basing these things on more of like a melody, I consider these paintings more like a composition of music, whereas it needs to have this melody that goes through it. And the melody right in this area is kind of like this flowing back to forth, like pulsing almost. And then, of course, we have to have a little bit of breaks in there. That's what these areas are here. What this is. Like, we need a little break in the melody to kind of keep it interesting, or else it would be a little too monotonous in many ways. And then once I get to the edge of the canvas over here, then I'll figure out what needs to go over here. I'm not certain exactly what needs to go over there yet. It'll need to have something that contrasts with this area, but I haven't decided what that should be yet. And we'll see when I get there. So here the painting is after somewhere around 40 hours of work. This is, doing what I wanted it to do, where it's kind of pulsing in this color. And this is the point in the painting where I really start to hear what it's telling me and start to follow, what's going on in the painting. So I'm going to start working over here now and have it come back, until it fills in the whole left side of the painting. But I have a good idea what I want it to do. I want it to kind of go, into more of this blue color starting here and go into white. And then from white, it's going to go into a warm color. I'm not exactly sure what the warm color is going to be yet. Maybe like a yellowish brown color, but that's where it's going to go. So I'll start working on all of this and painting in all the squares from there. Well, here's the painting after maybe 50 hours of work. I turn it on its side just because it's easier to work on it this way. And so I made it kind of go blue into white and then started going in with some brown, like this sandy colored brown almost. And then I'm having it go into this reddish brown. And then I'm not really sure where it's going to go from here. I'm thinking maybe into like a brighter red, but that's only going to go to like about here, all the way through. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do like in this area here and what it'll look like there. Maybe I'll have it go into yellow or back into brown. I haven't really decided yet. I'm kind of just seeing where the painting takes me from here. But maybe another 5 to 10 hours of work left, and then it'll be finished. And yeah, so maybe somewhere in between 50 to 60 hours of work total on this painting once it's done. So when I started this painting, I thought it was sounding a little bit like rain, or at least that's what I wanted to try and make. But as I got into it and I started listening to it more and more, it sounded more like waves crashing onto the beach or something like that. So I was trying to depict that near the end, but I didn't really start hearing it until I got through most of this area. And then that's kind of where this warmer area came from, is trying to depict the beach that the waves are crashing onto. I'm just trying to make sound and trying to make a visual representation of sound, hearing a little bit of a melody going through and trying to break things up with that some of those areas. And whether I'm successful or not, please let me know down in the comments. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more art videos in the future.